Great decorating is all about the details, including a gorgeous textured set of coasters. How we love a coaster. Functional. And why not be beautiful? Quince has a gorgeous set of woven rattan coasters in 3 terrific colors with their own little holder that you're going to absolutely love. And if you haven't visited quince.com/DTT yet, get on over there. It's everyday elevated living without the markup. From crisp 100% linen bedding and soft organic cotton towels to airy curtains and premium kitchen tools designed for everyday use. And the best part? Like Quince's clothing, their home goods are half the cost of similar brands. By partnering with top artisans, Quince cuts out the cost of the middleman and passes the savings on to us. And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes. Elevate your space with home essentials from Quince. Go to quince.com/DTT for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's Quince, QUINCE.com/DTT to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/DTT.
You see it every day, so it might as well be beautiful.
Yeah, we know it's Thanksgiving, but we're hanging out in the bathroom, having some laughs and sharing tons of tips. Hope you're having a great day, and maybe you'll make time to listen to this with us over the weekend. Enjoy.
How to update an outdated bathroom. And we are always looking for an easy update.
What we're really focusing on today is low cost, low effort, but high impact. So we're not going to talk about retiling your whole bathroom or ripping things out or even changing any of the major fixtures. These are really going to be simple things that you could probably implement, this weekend or this afternoon if you really got industrious.
Well, that's true. And there's so much you can do to a bathroom. When I was growing up, it seemed like everyone's bathroom had the ocean vibe to it. Did you?
I've definitely experienced that.
Do you know what
I
I'm
didn't
talking
live
about?
it, but I've experienced it.
So my mom has always hated the beach. She hates the beach. Okay. Our bathroom was the beach. The sand,
so
the shells, the sea foam green prints on the wall. I mean, you would think
What is that about?
Well, I don't know. I was going to tell you. I'm going to link to this SNL skit. It's called The First Shower, but it's basically about how moms do decorating because it's about becoming a mom and getting the mom haircut. So we'll link to it. You'll get it. You've probably seen it. But in the episode, they talk about mom decorating. And they said that when they went in the bathroom, once they had the haircut, the mom haircut, they knew that the bathroom was an ocean. So they needed lighthouses, seashells, and soap.
Lighthouses. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, and soap in the shape of a flip-flop.
Oh, that's so funny. So very coastal. It's the water, I guess. I don't know.
So there's nothing wrong with having a coastal bathroom, but if you're not on the coast, if you're not crazy about the beach, then
clearly if you hate the beach, you should never do that.
You don't have to do the beach in the bath. There's water.
Oh, please.
But it's not
I'm going to beg everyone, please don't do the beach in the bathroom. At least not a soap in the shape of a flip-flop. Even if you do live on the beach, don't do it. Okay, so I'm going to watch that. I don't know that I've seen that one, but I'm sure it's very funny.
It's very good. It's very good. You'll enjoy it.
Okay, you ready to dive in?
I am. Okay.
Ready to go in the ocean? Let's get started.
Well, one of my thoughts on the bathroom is it historically has been a very utilitarian space, and it's been one in the past that has been passed over as far as decor. So I like to go the opposite way and make my bathroom a little more formal because to me that's a little more unexpected, and it's a bathroom. So you want to do everything you can to make it kind of pretty. And I try to, like a kitchen, I try to make a kitchen more like any other room in the house. I try to do the same thing with the bathroom. Obviously, you've got all these surfaces. They're very hard. You've got the, usually a tiled floor, a tile backsplash around the wall, hard countertops. So it's nice to add in some soft furnishings. So one of the things I like to do is to put in a chair, if your bathroom is big enough, I think that's a lovely thing to do. If your bathroom is not big enough, you can always put in a little stool in there. So one bathroom of mine has a chair and the other one has a stool. But the other thing, let's say you have small kids, you don't want to have a fabric stool in there that you're going to have to worry about. Why not put a garden seat in there that the kids can use?
Great ideas. I approach the kitchen and the bathrooms the same way. We've discussed that before in different episodes. We should also link to the How to Update an Outdated Kitchen episode here in the show notes. So if anybody hasn't listened to that one, you might want to tune in there. I think that's a wonderful way to approach the bathroom. Make it like any other room in a sense. Yes, obviously, you want some expected things in the bathroom, but as Anita says, add some unexpected things, add some art, add some textiles if you can, whether it's some upholstered chair or adding a window treatment if you have a window in the bathroom, or a really luxurious feeling and looking shower curtain if you're doing a cloth shower curtain. These types of things can really update the room and give it a sense of luxury as well as freshening it up.
The shower curtain, I think that can really do a lot to change the look of the room, because in a small bathroom, that is a massive part of the visual space.
Yeah, it's almost like a wall if you have a small bathroom.
Right. It's almost like adding wallpaper. So, I mean, that's a great way to update your space. And then I also wanted to key in what you said about the wall art, because this is another area where you can really shine. And I think this is a great place to choose beautiful artwork. And really, I think if it can handle a large piece, use a large piece of art in there. Because, again, if a guest goes in there, their expectations are low. So, wow, if you had a large piece of beautiful artwork, I think they would just be really blown over.
Yeah.
I don't know why that was funny.
I just low expectations. It's just kind of, you know what you're getting into. There might be a lighthouse, maybe not. So another thing that is really easy to do, color coordinated accessories. So towels, storage pieces, small accessories. If you just changed those out, picked maybe a pop color, maybe your bathroom's predominantly white. A lot of them are. Pick a fun pop color, or get one of those great Egyptian towels with the fringes and then rift off whatever color stripe you've got going on in there and then add a few other pieces throughout the room. That can totally change the look and the feel of the room. If you've got kind of old towels and, something silver and something's blue and blah, 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 changing that all up, very low cost at very low effort.
I think you're so right, Kelly. Just switching out all your towels and just starting over. I mean, I had
I love new
this
towels.
Odd towel, that odd towel. I had inherited some from my mother-in-law. We had, that's the sort of thing. You end up having some towel that just really is past its prime, but you don't want to throw it out. And I'm not saying throw it out, but go put it in the garage for washing your car or whatever.
Right, or take it to the Humane Society in your local
actually,
area.
I did a massive amount of towels and blankets to this. They loved them.
They're so appreciative of that. Yeah.
Yes. So, but I did not replace every single towel I had, because guess what? You don't need 20 towels in each bathroom unless you've got a really large family. So I just kind of went with one towel. I just kind of did 4 towels in each bathroom, because I'm doing laundry all the time anyway.
It's so true. And in some, like you're saying, you have those old towels. They're just not that great. They don't even feel great. They don't look great. And they're just taking up a lot of space in your closet.
And if you want that spa look, get white. Just get white. You don't have to be fancy. Now, if you do want the Turkish towels, they're not so absorbent, but they are beautiful. So it's not.
They
a
look
bad
damn
idea.
good on a hook. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. I would put those are your show towels. I would put those on the hooks.
And try to be clear to the people you live with that they're show towels. If you want to have show towels, you just have them. Okay? Life's short. If you want some show towels, enjoy them.
Exactly. And I think this is a good time as any to tell you the exciting news here.
What?
I'm getting a Ballard Designs near my house.
Wow, they're opening a brick and mortar?
Yes, in Houston.
Did they not get the memo that people are not shopping like that anymore?
Well, these things I think are set in motion. It probably was set in motion quite a while back, but people are shopping in person.
I'm excited for you.
Yes, I am extremely excited. I cannot.
It'd be fun to see all that stuff.
It's right between, it's right between my Home Goods and Trader Joe's. So that's like become my little, and Barnes and Noble. It's all kind of just right there.
Oh, that's fun. I'm just going to the grocery store. See ya.
And if I stop at Ballard Designs on the way, and we lost our Pier 1, so, there's a couple stores we've lost. So anyway, so in honor of that store opening up, I have a few things I found at Ballard Designs I thought would be really cool in a bathroom.
Oh, you have some particular items.
I do, and I will link to them in the show notes. So I found a set of bathroom accessories. They had some blue and white, chinoiserie things that were beautiful. The trash container and the soap dish, the liquid soap dispenser. They had a set of those. And then remember when we had our store, we had the embroidered tissue box holders that you and I fell in love with.
Gorgeous.
They have them at Ballard Designs, but they're not the same exact style, but they do have some. How about the monogrammed paper guest towels? They have those too.
That's really taking it up a notch. Yeah.
I think that's a nice touch. And, and these days, how your daughters don't like to touch the towel if there's just has one drop of water on it. Well, this way you get your own fresh, clean.
Yes. Yeah. My one daughter does not like to do that. Like, towel. It's our house. No, she'll go take a paper towel. She's so funny.
I don't blame her. I don't like wiping my hands with the towel wet already.
Even in your own house?
No, not really. It's kind of a little, I just don't like it, though.
Okay. All right.
It's not that I'm afraid I'm going to get germs. It just, I don't know. It's just not a,
well,
I want a dry one.
Right. And my daughter is well trained not to use the show towel. So, she's between a rock and a hard place. She goes for the paper towel. So,
is she walking through the house with her hands up like she's a surgeon?
Yes. Exactly.
Okay.
Another pretty thing to add is a tray. If you have some horizontal surface that you can put it on, add a tray, maybe a mirrored tray even, sort of bouncing the light around a little bit. Just put some pretty decanters, maybe small bottles, maybe a bud vase where you can put in a little flower or a little clipping from the garden. Really just a nice, elegant thing to add to the bathroom if you've got some room. Another easy thing to do is change the knobs and or pulls on your vanity. And I'm sure we're going to talk about the vanities too, but that is really, again, like the baseline, easy thing to do. Leave it as it is, except change the knobs.
Great idea. The other thing you can do to your vanity is paint it. That's so much easier than replacing the vanity. And that, you could use that navy color of paint that you and I love.
Oh, the hail navy?
Yes. I mean, that would really change your room. Okay, what about this? A large rug, like a nice rug, not just a bathroom-y rug.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the bath mat in general, especially in a bathroom that people other than people that you're related to that live in your house with you are going to use. I'd rather have either no rug or a rug. And you know what might be a great option are these ruggable rugs because they're washable.
Oh, right. Well, it's our private bathroom, so we don't have guests up here, but it's a wool rug, so it does actually resist stains and it kind of repels water because it's got the natural oils in it.
Oh, right.
Yeah, rather than a bath mat. Right. And then if it's a powder room where your guests are mainly using it, it's not really used as a place for people to take baths and showers. I think it's very appropriate to have a traditional rug in there that's not a bath mat because people are just going to be walking in there with their shoes on. And so you don't want a cotton, those bath mats are cotton, and when people walk on them, they get so dirty. So you really don't want that in a room where people are walking in with their shoes.
Oh, yeah. And if you can get them to take their shoes off at the door, better yet.
That's a whole nother podcast.
That's
episode,
a whole nother
isn't it?
podcast, yes.
Aye.
Anita mentioned the garden stool earlier. So I've done something in my old house and again here. I've put a garden stool in the shower if you have
I love that idea.
I did have a niche for the shampoos and whatnot in both showers, but it's just a nice place. I mean, we don't have to get into all the details, but you might want to put your leg up there, you're shaving your leg, or maybe you have a bigger bottle of body wash or something like that kind of doesn't fit in the niche, or it just looks pretty. I would definitely go for one that has holes in it and holes on the bottom so the water drains through. Right now in this bathroom, in our master bathroom, I'm actually using this little metal side table. It's more like a pedestal, not a rounded garden stool. And it's all sort of, I guess you would call it filigree because it's all open work.
And it's metal, it's not ceramic?
No, it's metal. Yeah.
Oh, but it doesn't rust.
It doesn't. I don't know what it's coated with, but I figured, we'll see how it goes. But it's been fine. It's been in there for a couple of years. But I love that. And it just sort of adds a little something, particularly if you just have a very plain shower enclosure, if you use white subway or something like that. If you're putting the garden stool in there, that's a way to bring your pop color around. Like, here we go. Let's envision something. You have a predominantly white bathroom. You paint the vanity, the Hale Navy, you get a navy garden stool, you get some navy striped Egyptian towels, you hang them on a cool new hook, maybe you put shiny brass knobs on the vanity, you put a tray with some of these accessories that Anita was talking about. Bam! That's an amazing bathroom.
Oh, yeah. And so while you're talking about hanging a hook, that's another idea. You don't have to buy the traditional towel bars for your towels. In fact, you can get a couple more towels in there if you go with hooks. And I'm talking about something called a robe hook. And the robe hooks I have are these really cute Scotty Dog brass robe hooks I got from Anthropology years ago. They don't have them anymore. But the point is, there's some gorgeous, gorgeous robe hooks that are kind of a hefty size that are perfect for towels that you could get something fun and beautiful to put on the wall. And then you've got the interest of the cute robe hook, and then you've got a place to hang maybe 3 or 4 towels on the wall.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. You were saying about your bathroom when you were growing up. My mom's bathrooms were not coastal inspired. Also does not like the beach, so maybe she just was not going to go there. We had the towel rod, the traditional large towel rod, where you would take the towel and then you would fold the 2 large towels over. So we had the 2 large towels folded over. Then I guess the hand towels over those. Mm-hmm. And then yet again, on top of that, I think there were maybe a washcloth done like in a rakish triangle design or something like that. Right. And those were clearly show towels. Oh, but the arranging
they
of
sound
those,
show towelish.
Yes, clearly show towelish. But there were no other options. So here's the thing: if you're going to go show towel, then either you just instruct everyone, and only show towel, like my mom did. Then people are walking around just like shaking their hands because they can't try them anywhere. If you are a show towel gal,
you have to provide some way for people to.
This is what I'm saying. Okay. So if you're a show towel gal, do yourself and your family / guests a favor. Have some towels that are very obviously displayed. Right. That can be used, or go the extra step and having these individually monogrammed disposable towels that Anita's talking about. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the way to go. Now, another thing that you can do, and this sounds like it's a big hassle and a big deal to do, but it's not. Changing the lighting or the fixtures, you're going to have to get a plumber or an electrician to do that. But changing out the mirror, a lot of times they're just hung on a hook. So you can just take it off and put it on. Now, if you have those large frameless mirrors in your house, and everyone had it, along with the seashells in the sand, at some point everyone had those large mirrors with no frame, and those could be removed too. So those actually are much easier. They usually weren't plastered on. There was just a few screws here and there, maybe with the plastic star.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about?
Right. That goes back a little bit on those. And then it became sort of like the builder grade thing. They just put this giant mirror across the 2 sink vanity or what have you. And you just have this giant thing with no frame on it. And it just really doesn't have that much personality. No. And there's so many beautiful mirrors that you can use. I mean,
it was basically like they're saying, I'm giving up on life. It's like, I'm not even going to try. It's like,
here's your mirror.
Exactly. So move those on out of the house and replace them.
You don't want a whatever mirror, because you can get a cool round mirror for less than $100. You can get a vintage mirror. You can get 2 mirrors. Okay. You can do it so many different ways.
Okay, but you mentioned the round. Okay, so because I had a round mirror in my bathroom, but I would caution you against a round mirror because unless everyone in your house is the same height, someone's face is not going to show up in the mirror.
Oh, that would be me. Yeah.
Yeah, because, well, no, the way I had mine set up, your head, well, no, I guess you're a little shorter than I am, but Kevin was like, it was like his neck. It was not going to show. I couldn't make both of us show up, and, well, you know how that goes. So. He always looks good. He didn't need the mirror. That's what I told him. So.
Yeah. Come on, honey. Go. You look great. Yeah. Okay. If you do have the big mirror and you're like, oh man, I don't see those little stars with the screws. Maybe this is going to tear the sheetrock off the wall. I'm just not up for it. You could leave it in place, but get some molding with a sort of like a rivet on the back of it. So it will go around it like a frame. And then either
great idea.
If you're handy, if your version of Kevin is handy, if you have a handyman, whoever, somebody could pretty easily do that. One tip that you want to make sure that you do before you get that installed is, so you pick out this molding and you or whomever is going to install it, paint the back of it the same color that you're going to paint the front, because the part that will overlap the mirror will reflect.
Absolutely.
And you kind of see in that little wedge there. You can't help it. So make sure you do that.
Excellent idea. Another thing, even so, in my powder room, there is one of those pedestal tubs in there. But we don't really, there's not a bedroom down there, so nobody showers down there. So it's really just kind of for show right now. But I just wanted to dress it up a little bit, so I put one of those bathtub caddies on it. But now if it's a room that you're using, I mean, you can actually use one of these. But I just thought it looked nice to put some old books and maybe some, soap and stuff on there. But actually, I'm going to get one for my bathtub upstairs where I actually use it, because that's, they're the trays that stretch across the tub.
I'll tell you, when I was at your house, I was tempted to jump right in.
Well, you should have.
It looked so inviting. It's beautiful. And it didn't look overdone like you were staging it for a magazine or, something like that. It just looked really beautiful. It's a stunning powder room. It's a perfect example of how a powder room can be done in a wonderful style. No lighthouse.
No, there was no
no trace of a shell.
Anyway. Oh, no, but what we were saying though, again, if you have room, it's nice to put a little piece of furniture in your room. Now, my powder room is actually very small, but I ended up putting, and I don't know if this was in there when you were there, but a very, very small Florentine table from Italy. It's a Florentine table, so it's the gold and white, and it's very distressed. And that's where I have a little stand that has my towels hanging on it.
But it's etched in my memory. Yes, it was.
Oh, was it there? Okay, okay. So I mean, so even if it's a small space, sometimes you can do that because of my vanity, there really was not a good place to put towels there. So it's nice if you have room to do something like that. So, it's nice to put in a little table or a little chair or a little stool, or even it would be nice if you had room for a basket to put your towels in.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
And you could put that maybe under your vanity, sitting out, or even, what about a shelf on the wall where you have towels stacked? That's another thing that you can do.
Yeah, and sometimes right behind the toilet is a good place to do that because you've got the depth without somebody whacking their head into it. So that's a good spot for that. Don't you just love a great recommendation from a friend? Well, we're delighted to be recommending these companies and their wonderful products to you today. And let them know your friends at DTT sent you. I can't stop using dupe.com. This is an amazing website, service, best friend. I absolutely love it. So you find something that you really want and it's too expensive, it's a budget buster. Then you use dupe.com and you can find almost the exact thing or very similar products for much less. So I was crushing on this incredibly gorgeous coffee table. I had it in my mind. I had it in my Pinterest boards. I had it everywhere, but I just didn't have it in my house Because it was too expensive. When I learned about dupe.com, that was the first product that I tested. And boy, did I find some amazing dupes. And I purchased one. So the original was almost $3,000. And Dupe showed me many choices, all the way down to under $200. Now, you may think something this extraordinary is hard to use, but it's so easy. Just type dupe.com/ before any product URL in your browser, and boom, it instantly finds you less expensive alternatives. They even have an app and a browser extension you can download. No account required, no sign up required. It's completely free. That's completely free free to use. Stop wasting your money on brand names and start saving with dupe.com today. Have you tried the Lisa Show podcast yet? You really have to. And here's a perfect episode for this time of year, entitled How to Celebrate with Less Pressure and More Joy. Bam, Lisa. That's what we're all about, too. You guys are going to love The Lisa Show. It's a self-help, life help, and inspiration chat show that feels like having lunch with your best friends. Sound familiar? You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll come away feeling ready to face the world. Hosted by comedian, actress, writer, mother, and solo parent of 5, Lisa Valentine Clark, this podcast offers a mix of humor, life insights, and motivational topics. During COVID, when Lisa lost her husband to ALS, friends saved her life, and so a goal of The Lisa Show is to provide that same support to others who need it. The Lisa Show connects listeners with real people and real good ideas. Every week, Lisa gets real with other people who are willing to share the wisdom and the weird you can only get from a true friend. You can find The Lisa Show anywhere you find your podcasts. Being bold with paint. We talked about painting the vanity. Well, of course you can paint the walls. That's a great way to change a room almost instantly. I've done this. I've been pretty bold in some bathrooms that I have owned in the past. One time I painted one really forest green. It was pretty fab. Or wallpaper. Your bathroom is a perfect spot, particularly if it's a powder room. If it's a bathroom that's going to be used all the time and there's going to be steam and all of that, you really want to make sure that you're choosing the right kind of wallpaper. It can be done, but you really definitely want to pick the right kind of wallpaper. But in a powder room, the world is yours as far as what wallpaper you might want to choose.
Yeah, I will caution you, though. It can be a marriage-ending effort, so just be careful.
Yeah. You mean doing it yourself?
Yes.
Oh,
yes. Yeah, that was one of our do-it-yourself projects early on in our marriage, and I said, we will stay married, but we will never, ever do this again.
That's so funny. I was once in a bathroom with Peter, and we owned our house in Southampton, and we did so much there by ourselves. And it was like the last room we were paid to, and we sort of banged into each other. And instead of it being this cute, like, ha ha ha, we didn't have kids or anything moment, he was like, turned around and he was like, I just want to let you know, I will never do this again. Like, that's my handy man. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
We touched on it. You said the word, but we went on to the mirrors. Lighting.
Mm-hmm.
Where is lighting more important? My goodness, the bathroom. So if you don't have good lighting, if you don't have more than one source of lighting, rethink your lighting plan for your bathroom. Sure, if it's a powder room, maybe you can just get away with some sconces on either side, and it's just sort of this low light, put it on dimmers. Nobody needs to be doing a lot of checking their makeup and whatnot in that type of bathroom. But if it's your main bathroom, if you can get 3 sources of light in there, more power to you. It's going to really make a difference when you're getting ready and just giving you the opportunity to make the room more inviting. If you've got to be flipping on overhead lights in the evening, and it looks like you could start doing surgery in there, that's not that appealing. So if you can get a little lamp, I have a little lamp in my master bedroom, in my master bathroom. It is not a large bathroom, but I just have this small little table that's kind of oversized in height. You couldn't really even use it as a side table. It's almost like a pedestal. It's almost like a plant stand type of table. And I have a very small lamp on there. And that's what I'll put on in the evening. But when I'm getting ready to go out for the day, I really want to see what's going on. So I have the overhead light, and then I put the lamp on.
But I agree with you on the lamp thing. If you have room for lamps in your bathroom, I think it's so nice to put those in, because we have overhead lighting and we have sconces, but it's bright light. So I have low wattage bulbs in our lamps. There's two lamps on the counter. And if it's evening and we're getting ready for bed, it's really nice to not have all that bright light shining in our face, or if we're just getting up in the morning, we're not quite awake. It's nice to have something that's just a very low level, soft lighting where it's kind of just warm and inviting, but not, like you said, like you're getting ready to have surgery. Mm-hmm. And another thing I was thinking about, because I do love to use my tub. I started using it maybe a year ago, and I just thought, why did I wait all this time? This is the most heavenly experience. Why wasn't I doing this before? So I think a nice thing to do is kind of to set up your tub area for maybe a soak in the bath. So maybe have some of those a bath pillow to use. And then I have a big glass jar where I keep Epsom salt, or my bath salts in there. And then I actually use as a scoop a teacup to scoop out those Epsom salt. But you have to be careful; you don't want to break it in your tub. But it looks nice. Anyway, stuff like that. Just kind of maybe some hand towels there, a bar of soap, a pretty bar of soap. It's just nice to have it just very inviting looking, so that you'll remember to relax and take a bath here and there, and not just be rushing and just showering.
And don't be afraid to mix your metals in the bathroom. There's metal in the bathroom, right? When you think about it, the faucets, certainly if there's a shower, maybe some knobs, we're talking maybe some hooks, things like that. It's okay to mix them up. We love mixed metals in other rooms, so there's really no reason why you have to have only one metal finish. I would not introduce 3 metal finishes in a small bathroom or even a mid-sized bathroom, but I think you could definitely get away with 2 finishes. So if the say your faucets are chrome, but you really like the look of some oil rub bronze or something like that, well, you might not want to change your faucets out, but you could definitely do a different category of metal things in a different finish. So the hooks and maybe the knobs could be in the oil rub bronze, something like that. Think about what metals might work well together. A real patinaed one might not look really great with a super shiny chrome. So think about what will look good together, but there really is no rule that everything metal in the bathroom has to be the same finish.
I think that's absolutely correct. Just like any part of your house, it does not need to be the same. And sometimes that makes it even more interesting when it doesn't match. Another thing that I think would be really nice, especially if you don't have space on your countertop to put a makeup mirror, why not use one of those retractable makeup mirrors on the wall? I think those are so charming looking.
And I love those too. And whenever I go to a hotel, I'm always using them. Like, oh, this is the funnest thing. Great, I'm going to put my makeup on. And you're like, oh, wow, I didn't realize, my eyebrows look so bad or whatever. And then I think, why don't I just get one of those for home?
Yeah, I know. I agree. Yeah, and you do have to be careful, though, because everything's a little different magnification. And, like I have this one little makeup mirror, and all I can see is one eye. It's basically not usable.
That's so funny. Okay, so a couple of more practical, if you will, things. You can recoat your tub and sink. I have done this a couple of times with a vintage sink and here with this vintage tub, and I did it in our prior home. We actually did the entire shower. They refinished the tile that was in the shower, including the grout, and it was a great cost-saving solution. So you can Google around your local area. There are various companies that do this type of thing, but I would call it maybe a porcelain refinishing or tub refinishing, and I'm pretty sure you're going to have somebody close enough by to you that will come out and give you an estimate. And it doesn't take that long. I wouldn't want to be doing that job, but my understanding and doing the research that after it's done, it doesn't off-gas anything, but there's clearly chemicals involved. So think about that as far as, introducing that into your home. You can change out the toilet seat.
Are you telling us to get one of those furry ones?
No, I think at one point my mother did have a squishy yellow pleather one. I don't know. That's so not her, but I just had that flashback. No, but there's just different quality, I guess, like the heft of it. I don't want to say a toilet seat's a toilet seat.
The problem is you and I don't really even like saying the word toilet. That's the real problem here.
They are toilet seats that have nice metal hinges that just look like chunky metal. They're just nicer looking. And I guess they're wood instead of the plastic and coated and what have you. So, for what it's worth, it's something to consider. I think it makes a difference in the look for sure. And one other thing is particularly if you have a small bathroom or maybe even a powder room that you're dealing with, so you don't have a lot of surface area to put some of these decor pieces that we've been talking about, you could put a shelf over the door. I wouldn't make it particularly wide, and I wouldn't put, too many big things up there, but you could put a little collection of some, but it can just add a little charm if you don't have room to add things like that elsewhere. My crush for right now, for today, is the Gardenista Instagram account. I love Gardenista. If anyone's not familiar with it, it's I think it came out of Remodelista, and it was sort of their garden offshoot of that. They do an email newsletter, which I get, but that comes an awful lot, so I kind of don't get it every day. They like to send it to you every day. But what I do like to do is poke around on their Instagram because it's very informative. If I'm going to spend time looking at something or listening to something, I always want to have something to take away from it with me.
Mm-hmm.
Did I learn something?
Right.
And I find that with the Gardenista, because I am very interested in gardening, they'll have a beautiful photo, but then they'll have the link somewhere where you can find out how to plant that particular shrub, or they'll give you some information right there in the write-up. So it's not only beautiful, but I also think it's informative. So the link to the Gardenista Instagram account will be in the show notes.
So my crush, I was thinking about this because, Evie is now a teacher. And so I'm thinking about teachery kind of things. Mm-hmm. And, because she was saying she needed a new stapler. And it reminded me of my favorite stapler that I have at home. And it's actually a stapleless stapler. Have you ever used one of those?
I do declare I have never used a stapleless
Okay, well,
stapler.
I have. So I'm going to include the link to the one that I currently have, but there's one that I just bought. And the reason there's two different ones. The one I have is small, and it's only got a 5-sheet capacity, and the one I just bought is a 10-sheet capacity. But it's a pretty cool thing. The way it works is it kind of like punches a hole, and then it kind of folds over that little part into the paper. So it attaches them all together, but you don't have to worry about running out of staples. And you can remove it. You just kind of push it out, and it kind of has like a little origami shape to it then. So it does leave a hole, though. So if you don't want a hole in your paper later, it's going to leave a little bit of a mark there where it's made the hole. But if you wanted, even like, let's say you had a set of some, maybe you wanted to make a little booklet of like 8 sheets of paper or something, you could use this along the binder edge and then, flip it open like a booklet. But you don't have to pull the staples out. You don't have staples that are going to snag on things. And, I just like that it's just getting rid of something that you no longer need, which is a staple.
Wow, no staples in the landfills. Anita, they add up, even though they're tiny.
Well,
That's
they
great.
are small, but and it just, you know what? They're fun to use. And I thought if I got this for her, then all the kids are going to be doing her stapling for her.
Oh, they're definitely going to do their stapling.
I know, that's what I was thinking. It's kind of a cool thing.
That's a good one. I never even heard of a stapleless stapler.
Well, now
is that what they call them? A stapleless stapler?
Well, I searched on Google to find them, or searched on Amazon calling it a stapleless stapler, and it did come up that way. So, yeah, you can search yourself if you want a different brand, but that's what they're called.
I might get one because when we do the podcast, I am forever creating scrap paper out of everything because why buy pads of paper, right? So I always have all these half sheets of paper, and that's how I do my notes because I know you're doing them on your computer, and I'm like, I might as well be like writing them on a cave wall. but I do use a stapler to keep all these pieces of paper together. Now I'm going to get one of these.
You like the hard copy of things, but I'll tell you, you're very smart to do that though, because there is some memory associated with actually writing things longhand versus typing them. It has something to do with your memory. Like if you write I've always read this, and it's true for me too. If you handwrite your list of what you need at the grocery store, even if you forget the list, you'll probably remember it because of the memory of your hand writing it.
Yeah, that's the way I learned best. Even all through college and law school, I would take my notes, that I would go home, and my studying was like rewriting my notes.
Right. Oh, yes. I did the same thing in college.
Thanks so much for hanging out with us. And remember, we are here to inspire you to create a beautiful home. Until next time. I want to remind you that we are available for design consults. We take on your design dilemmas, questions, renovations, any project you want to talk about, any room, any space. We are here for you. And we really do enjoy doing these. And I think we've helped people a lot. So if you want to sign up for a consult, head to the link in the show notes. It's decoratingtipsandtricks.com/consult. We hope to talk to you soon.